Manly in lane 1, Manly Dragon Boat Club, Brisbane River Dragons in lane 2, Dragon Masters in lane 3, Power Blades in lane 4, and Tweed Dragons in lane 5. They're all lined up. This is small boat, remember. They're going to be off the line fast like little Ferraris. Whether they can keep being Ferraris all the way down is another matter, but remember, we say this all the time, the start is so important to get your advantage going in the race, and usually the helm on the back will ask for 5 big strokes. Usually the first couple of very strong, deep strokes. Then you crank up the gears. It's like going through the motions. You're cranking up. There'll be calls at different stages for the first 20 strokes. And then the boat's up to full speed. Then it's about keeping that speed all the way down the course. And here we go, we've started the race. Over to Steve.
Thanks, Rich. And for those of you out there, this is race 100, pick 1 of the Senior C Open Small Boat. Now, it looks as though lane 1 is vacant. Brisbane River Dragons in lane 2, Dragon Masters in 3, Power Blades in 4, and Tweed Dragons out there in lane 5. So just the 4 crews here, and they'll make their way down the course now in this heat of the Senior C Open Small Boat. So this is our 60 plus paddlers here, and they're starting to get into their work here, and starting to paddle a little bit stronger as they head down towards that halfway mark. It's the Brisbane River Dragons in lane 2 in their blue with the red and the yellow caps that look like they're showing a clean pair of blades at this stage, from Dragon Masters in 3, then the Power Blades and Tweed Dragons making a line of 2 there in the 3rd and 4th position. But it looks like it's the Brisbane River Dragons on this side, lane 2, who hit the halfway mark, well in front from the Dragon Masters in the bright light orange and red caps there. Now it looks like Tweed Dragons have moved into 3rd, just in front of the Power Blades in 4. Now they'll call upon their effort now to keep going here in Brisbane River Dragons. They're being urged on by the sweep and the rhythm of the drummer here to keep their paddles going nicely. And it is Brisbane River Dragons. Now Dragon Masters are starting to make a little bit of a move. They have up their rating. Tweed Dragons holding down 3rd, just in front of Power Blades. But Brisbane River Dragons, rather, I'll get it right in a minute, have done it nicely here. They're holding it together very well, and Brisbane River Dragons get about a boat length in front now, and it's going to be Brisbane River Dragons from Dragon Masters by a good boat length across the line. Brisbane River Dragons, Dragon Masters will get 2nd now. It looks like Tweed is going to grab 3rd, just in front of the Power Blades. There's not going to be a lot in it at the finish. Tweed still hanging in there, and Tweed will get 3rd in lane 5 from Power Blades in 4.
Thank you very much, Steve. Well, the boats are already heading into the starting blocks for the next race, but we'll bring you the results in a moment for that race you've just seen. Steve seemed to be having a problem with the pronunciation of Brisbane River Dragons, but we got there in the end, and they are now up on the screen. 223.0 for Brisbane River Dragons. Dragon Masters in 2nd place, 226.4. 5th, Tweed Dragons, 237.8, and finally Power Blades, 238.3. That was the Senior C Open Small Boat Race 100. Boats are already in the starting blocks for the next one. Race 101, Heat 1, Senior B Women's Small Boat Competition. Remember, as I said earlier, we've got a number of heats in repercharge that will take us all the way through till 224. Single team has done this. I know I've done it. Is a capsized drill, and what you do is deliberately fill the boat up with water while you're paddling to show that you can still actually paddle the boat when it's pretty full of water, and then you all get out the boat, bail it out, and get back in the boat and continue paddling. So these boats are very safe. They won't sink, and but they do. Obviously, they're bringing this to the side. Is underway. Race is underway. Look at all those dragons moving away from the start line. We are underway on race 105, Senior B, Open Small Boat.
And in lane 1, we've got Coffs Coast, BRD, Brisbane River Dragons, Dragon Masters, Water Warriors South Australia in 4, Darwin Waterfront Warriors in 5, Tweed in 6, Northern Beaches over in 7. So 7 boats competing, 7 teams competing this event, and this should be a pretty classy race in itself. So looking for the early leader, and looking down the track maybe, or down the course more appropriately, BRD in lane 2. We refer to BRD, it's the Brisbane River Dragons, short time ago. So Brisbane River Dragons, their effortless performance actually. They were definitely making the boat move, but they didn't look like they were really teams, but their stroke rate makes up for the fact that they don't drag the paddle fully back. But we're here ready for this next race. It's race 105, Senior B Open Small Boat. We've got Coffs Coast in lane 1, Brisbane River Dragons in lane 2, Dragon Master in 3, Water Warriors SA in 4, Darwin Waterfront Warriors in lane 5, Tweed Storm in 4th, 225.9, Bayloon in lane 1, 5th place, 225.9, Bravehearts in lane 2, they took 6th place, Nowra Water Dragons in lane 6, they took 7th place, so we haven't got any times for those, but we are all ready for the next race, 105, so everything's fast and furious. We're probably trying to make up a little bit of time on the loss in the morning. But Senior B Open Small Boat is what's coming up next. Please keep your messages and questions coming in the chat room. We really do appreciate anything that you tell us, providing it's reasonably positive. We don't really want any negativity on the show. So anything you've got, we'd love to try and answer it if we can. But this is the Australian National Dragon Boat Championships here in South Australia, and the whole world is descending in Adelaide for the next couple of weeks. At the end of this championship, which has still got 3 days to go after today, we will then go into the Asian Dragon Boat Championships, which is going to be a real spectacle to see the Asian paddlers, because they paddle in such a different way, and it's really hard to describe it until you see them. The stroke rate of some of the teams is so fast, but and they barely take the paddle. They're probably only taking the paddle halfway back compared with a lot of the Western teams, but their stroke rate makes up for the fact that they don't drag the paddle fully back. But we're here ready for this next race. It's race 105, Senior B Open Small Boat. We've got Coffs Coast in lane 1, Brisbane River Dragons in lane 2, Dragon Master in 3, Water Warriors SA in 4, Darwin Waterfront Warriors in lane 5, Tweed in lane 6, and Northern Beaches in lane 7.
Facebook page, and also I believe Sally from Dragon King has an app that you can download. So there's an app there that can be downloaded on Dragon King. So well done, Charlene Povey, winning day 1 of the Dragon King selfie competition. A stunning photo of a team reflected in the sunglasses. Charlene, you need to go and collect your prize from the Dragon King tent. And don't forget, today is a new day. So
right now, a lot of the teams from the other side of the world are probably starting to get onto planes to fly into this area, because of course the third event in this series is the Club Crew World Championships, where the best clubs in the world will be coming over. I've had the privilege of paddling with some of the top teams in Canada, which consistently win gold medals at these Club Crew World Championships, and they take it so seriously.
Okay, now we've got... I will probably interrupt this. Right. Just before watching for the start, but let's get to a couple of
race results. Race 101, Senior B, Women's Small Boat. Sada first, 2 minutes 34.02. Second, Dragonflyers, 2 minutes 35.
And this race is underway. Race is underway. Look at all those dragons moving away from the start line. We are underway on race 105, Senior B, Open Small Boat.
Heat 2. And in lane 1, we've got Coffs Coast, BRD, Brisbane River Dragons, Dragon Masters, Water Warriors South Australia in 4, Darwin Waterfront Warriors in 5, Tweed in 6, Northern Beaches over in 7. So 7 boats competing, 7 teams competing this event, and this should be a pretty classy race in itself. So looking for the early leader, and looking down the track maybe, or down the course more appropriately, BRD in lane 2. We refer to BRD, it's the Brisbane River Dragons. So Brisbane River Dragons in lane 2. They look as though they've opened up an early lead and thrown out the challenge to everyone else. In lane 1, Coffs Coast fallen back at this time. In lane 3, Dragon Masters also fallen back, but it's only by virtue of the fact that BRD have opened up such a lead, it looks like everybody has fallen off the pace. That's not so. It's going to be an interesting race for second and third at least, and I don't see anybody really going to come and challenge BRD. If it is, it's going to come from Dragon Masters in lane 3. But let's have a look over the rest of the course. Over in lane 5, we have the Darwin Waterfront Warriors. They're still firing for a place. Come back to 4, the Water Warriors South Australia. Likewise, but this team, the Brisbane River Dragons, are doing a superb paddling exercise here. They've got about a boat length, I would think, on Dragon Masters. Dragon Masters would be the one, but there's not enough time or distance for the Dragon Masters or anyone to get to the Brisbane River. So let's Brisbane River, but it's an interesting race for second. Second is going to come from Dragon Masters. They'll take out the second position, and so now we look for third, fourth, and at the present time it's over in lane 5, the Darwin Water Warriors being challenged in 4 by Water Warriors South Australia, who have got through. Water Warriors South Australia got through for third. The Warriors, Darwin Waterfront Warriors 4th. Tweed over in 5 got 6th, 5th, and come back to Coffs Coast in lane 1, who'll take out Northern Beaches first of all, have got 6th position, coming back to Coffs Coast, who have picked up 7th position, going across the line a short time ago. So Brisbane River Dragons,
their effortless performance. Actually, they were definitely making the boat move, but they didn't look like they were really, going wild. It was very controlled, lovely stroke. The results show, because here we are with the result where Brisbane River Dragons took it in a time of 2:19.2. Dragon Masters second place, 2:23.2. Water Warriors SA in third, 2:27.1. Darwin Waterfront Warriors, 2:28.0 dead. In fifth place, Tweed, 2:28.8. And Northern Beaches in sixth position, 2:30.9. So that was race 105. The first and second from each heat to the grand final, and the remainder go through to the repechage, of course, or see if there's anything on the Dragons Down Under website. But we're back onto racing right now, and it's underway on race 102, Senior B, Women's Small Boat, Lane 2 Port Hacking, Lane 3 Adelaide Sea Dragons, Lane 5 Tweed, and Lane 6 Power Blades.
2 of the Senior B Women's Small Boat, race 102, and they're underway here. Now in lane 1 we've got DA Sydney, that's Dragons Abreast Sydney, they're in the pink, and of course Dragons Abreast doing a fantastic job with breast cancer survivors and their families. So this is one of the clubs that are involved in this. DA from Sydney, Dragons Abreast Australia. This is DA from Sydney. Port Hacking in 2. They're in the Regular Dragons in lane 3, crossing in first place. And they were a good boat length in front of lane 5, the Tweed Dragons, and Power Blades out there in lane 6, crossing in third. Port Hacking in 2.
Thank you, Steve. There was a couple of boats that were on the schedule that didn't make it into that one, DA Sydney and Ice Dragons. But here are the scores. Race 102, Senior B, Women's Small Boat. Adelaide Sea Dragons took it in a time of 2:31.8. Tweed 2:35.6 took second place. Powerblade.
Lane 1 is vacant. Lane 2 is Tweed Dragons. Lane 3, Water Warriors South Australia. Lane 4, Ice Dragons. And Lane 5 is Sloths. So just the 4 crews in this repercharge, and places in the semi-finals are at stake here. So this will be some intense racing here. Now it looks like Water Warriors South Australia in Lane 3 have surged to the lead here. So it's Water Warriors in 3. Now Ice Dragons, the Canberra crew, out there in Lane 4 starting to make a move, and then probably holding down third is Tweed Dragons in Lane 2, and then we have Sloths in Lane 5. So they go towards the halfway mark, and it looks like it's developed into a race in 2 here, and it is the Water Warriors South Australia in 3 and Ice Dragons in 4. Holding down third, possibly Sloths coming up into third place out there in 5, and Tweed Dragons back in Lane 2. But now it's the Ice Dragons. They're the first ones to go here, and they've upped their rating with probably less than 200 metres to go. So it's the Ice Dragons from Canberra in Lane 4. They've surged about a half a boat length in front now of Water Warriors South Australia, trying to go with them. Sloths probably got into third place over there in 5, and back to Tweed Dragons in Lane 2. But it is the Ice Dragons in front as they head down towards the last 50 metres, and Ice Dragons in 4 holding this lead by about a half a boat length now from the Water Warriors South Australia, and Sloth now in clear third from Tweed. But it's going to be the Ice Dragons still in front, close to the line, and as they come down, we'll pick it up on the big screen here. It's about a half boat length to the Ice Dragons from Canberra, and the Ice Dragons cross in first place. Second will be the Water Warriors South Australia. Now third is going to be Sloths out there in Lane 5, and they've crossed now in third, and then back to Tweed, who are in Lane 2. So that's how they've looked to across the line here.
Well done there. Repechage, 118 race, Senior A Women's Small Boat. We're progressing closer now to the first of the semi-finals. They were scheduled for 14:24 today, but obviously we're running behind with a couple of dramas that we had earlier, and so we have the scores for this race, and here we go with Ice Dragons taking that in a time of 2:34.4. Second place Water Warriors SA 2:35.5, Tweed in third place, and Sloths in fourth. We might not have any times for those. 2:44.2 for Sloths and 2:45.2 for Tweed.
And of course Dragons Abreast doing a fantastic job with breast cancer survivors and their families. So this is one of the clubs that are involved in this. DA from Sydney, Dragons Abreast Australia. This is DA from Sydney. Port Hacking in 2. They're in the red caps, and they're going nicely too. Adelaide Sea Dragons in 3. Ice Dragons in the black in 4, Tweed in 5, Tweed Dragons, and 6 is the Power Blades, the local crew here in Adelaide. So at the present time it looks like it's the Adelaide Sea Dragons in Lane 3 that have got to the lead here, and they're going nicely. And we've got Adelaide Sea Dragons, Port Hacking in 2, and it looks as though out wider we've got Power Blades, Tweed back in 5, and Ice Dragons in the black. So they make their way down now towards the halfway mark, and it is in the orange outfits there. That is the Adelaide Sea Dragons in 3. Now just trying to pick up Power Blades out there wide. We've got Tweed back in 5, and it looks like the Ice Dragons are not in their race. So the Ice Dragons not there, and also it looks as though Port Hacking is not there. So it is lane 3. We'll go just back to the leaders here. Lane 3, Adelaide Sea Dragons in front of this stage. Tweed in 5 and Power Blades. And then back to lane 2, which is Port Hacking. So Port Hacking is there. It looks like it's DA Sydney who is not there. So it's Adelaide Sea Dragons in 3, pulling about a boat length in front now, close to the line. And it's going to be Adelaide Sea Dragons. Adelaide Sea Dragons doing it nicely in this heat 2 of the Senior B Women's Small Boat. And Adelaide Sea Dragons across the line, a good boat length in front of lane 5, that's Tweed Dragons. And then we've got Power Blades out there in 6, and then back to lane 2, which is Port Hacking. So it looks like there was a couple of withdrawals from that race. Lane 1 DA Sydney and lane 4 Ice Dragons. So just the 4 crews there. So just recapping on that, Adelaide Sea Dragons in lane 3 crossing in first place, and they were a good boat length in front of lane 5 the Tweed Dragons, and Power Blades out there in lane 6 crossing in third, Port Hacking in 2.
Thank you, Steve. There was a couple of boats that were on the schedule that didn't make it into that one, DA Sydney and Ice Dragons. But here are the scores. Race 102, Senior B Women's Small Boat. Adelaide Sea Dragons took it in a time of 2:31.8. Tweed, 2:35.6, took second place. Power Blades in third, 2:37.9. And Port Hacking in fourth place, 2:44.8. Yeah.
Just an interesting thing, Rich, we've got in lane 1 FFB. Nobody's really sure what FFB stands for. That's the name of their crew. All we know is the last 2 letters stand for fast boat, so you can put anything you like for that first letter. Fabulous, fantastic, flying, whatever you like. They'll tell you something else, but we just call them FFB, yeah.
Cool. That's nice to know. Well, we're under starters order, so away we go.
Lane 2 Subsonics, lane 3 Central Coast, lane 4 Melbourne Flames, lane 5 is Tweed Dragons, and lane 6 is DA Sydney. So here's Dragons abreast Sydney in this particular heat, the Senior A Women's Small Boat out there in lane 6. So they'll start to make their way down and up their rating towards that halfway mark, and it looks like it's out there in lane 4, the Melbourne Flames, and they're from the Docklands area there. They train down there, and of course the Aurora's coach, Sergei Kuska, their coach down there, and so they're pretty strong every year, the Melbourne Flames, and they're showing the way out there in lane 4. We've got back in lane 2 Subsonics, also going nicely, and then lane 1 FFB, they're in the green, and then we've got Tweed Dragons and DA Sydney out in lanes 5 and 6 respectively, just dropping back in behind the leading boats. But it's the Melbourne Flames in lane 4 showing the way. If there's any going to be a challenge, the Central Coast in lane 3 is starting to make a move. So that's the crew in lane 3 there, the Central Coast from north of Sydney there, and then we've got Subsonics in 2, FFB in 1, and Tweed and DA Sydney just out of the reach of the leading crews. But Melbourne Flames still in front here and rating nicely. They're going to be hard to catch. Central Coast trying hard in lane 3 to get to them. Subsonics starting to make a move, and then we have FFB back in 1, Tweed Dragons and DA Sydney, but it's Melbourne Flames as they come down with about 50 metres left to go or less, and it's Melbourne Flames doing it nicely. They're about a boat length in front, and it's going to be close for second here. Central Coast and Subsonics battling it out, but the Melbourne Flames cross the line in first spot, and it's going to be Central Coast will grab second from Subsonics in third, then back to lane 1 FFB, and then out wider we've got Tweed Dragons just crossing in front of DA Sydney in lanes 5 and 6 respectively.
Well done, Melbourne Flames. Close between 2 and 3 for that second spot. We're already on the start for the next race, but the one that you've just seen is race 106, which was a heat. They were fighting for lane allocation for the grand final. So all of those boats will be going again for that grand final. And here's the results. Melbourne Flames 233.1,
Central Coast 236.5, Subsonics 236.9 in third, FFB in fourth 240.6, in fifth was Tweed Dragons 245.3, and DA Sydney in sixth position 245.
But we seem to be missing one. Now I think that will be in lane 2.
Yep.
Lane 2, it looks as though Water Warriors are scratched. So the starters are in lane 1, North Beaches go to 3, Manly, Bayloon over in 4, and Tweed over in 6.
Yep.
So although I've got a Tweed in 5, but anyway, they're on the outside lane. So we'll have a look. Getting away pretty quickly at this point of time. Northern Beaches doing well. They look as though they're out in front. Manly are paddling strongly. Beside them, Bayloon. Tweed out the other in lane 5. All doing well, but Tweed may be back a little bit at this point of time. Northern Beaches leading the way, I would suggest, but Manly not to be counted out. Likewise, Bayloon. So there's some strong paddling from those three teams at the moment. Tweed, as I said, maybe a little off the pace, but could put in a spurt as we get down towards the business end of the race. Now we've got 200 metres to go. Manly have got through a little bit, I would suggest. Manly may well have thrown out the challenge or met the challenge of Northern Beaches. Northern Beaches are still there. Manly doing very well. Bayloon beside them. Bayloon's a danger. This is going to be a good race for first, second and third. Tweed over the other side of the course in lane 6 as we've got them. But now as we get down to the business end, Bayloon look as though they've got in front. Bayloon in front of Manly potentially, but no, Manly are coming back. Manly are doing a good job. They're coming back. So Manly pushing it, their sweep saying go. Manly are there, and Manly are going to get there over Bayloon.
Oh, it's gone over! It's gone over!
Bayloon's gone right over. So that puts Bayloon over, put Northern Beaches into a position.
We have some drama here. The boat has all of a sudden gone over. Nobody saw that coming. They were only 5 metres away from the line. And my goodness, I hope everybody's all right there. The safety boats, the umpire boats are straight away checking that everyone's okay. There should be 12 people in the water here.
They're Dragon's Head looking at it and trying to see the line, but from where we are, the Dragon's Head is right.
Yeah, replay would be
on
great.
the finishing line. I think it's drifted over a bit by movement, but you wouldn't believe it. Right on the finish.
Right, Rick. Let's see if we can. We're going to get a replay on this, and let's see what happened there, because you couldn't see that one coming. They were in a straight line.
Absolutely.
Look, here we go. Look.
Watching
Look. Oh, it's gone over. It's gone over.
If you're down there.
Now, what on earth happened there?
Big screen, you may get a.
Maybe we can see it again.
And we're trying to.
Let's see if we can watch it one more time.
So this is down there in front of the.
So look, they're 5 metres away.
Slow motion.
They're leaning to the left.
There goes the sweep. The sweeps go. Oh no, the boats go at the same time.
Wow. Well, bit of drama, definitely.
In that particular race, Rich, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yep.
Who would have seen it? But anyway, nevertheless, let's not take it away from
Well, it's here
Manly.
now, look.
Well done, Manly, in lane 3. It was a good race.
Okay,
got up.
take it back and
Beaches.
Cameron, can you replay it another time, please? We're just we're very interested in this. We've got the officials here looking at it with us.
Over at,
It'd be good if we could see it one more time.
here he comes.
Look, here we come. Now, what happened there then?
Looks like the sweep lost it. Looks like the sweep lost it.
One more time, maybe? One more time for the road. So let's see. Very slowly. I think the sweep took his
Yeah.
his sweep is out the water, I think,
Or is out the water.
and then that caused a bit of imbalance because there was no sort of steering influence at the back of the boat, and as soon as he probably lifted the he probably lifted the paddle at the back there, the sweep out of the water, to maybe just give them that little bit more of flow, and that was enough to imbalance the boat, which is a great shame because they were only maybe 3 meters away from the line, and would have gone through in second place there. So what do you reckon, Steve?
Well, I'm shaking my head, Rich, because I think I might have jinxed them, because we were just talking about Bayloon training up there at Pittwater at Mona Vale and the hotel, the Newport Arms, and they looked to be in a position to grab second there, and just went completely over. So I hope I haven't jinxed them. Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get those free beers anymore now.
I don't think so. I think
you might get lynched if you walk into that hotel.
Anyway, away from the excitement of that overturn.
Here we go with the results. So unfortunately, Bayloon didn't finish that race. In third place, Tweed 229.2, Northern Beaches in second 228.0, and Manly in 224.8. That's stretching it a bit to call it a studio because it's like an open air one. But the race has started. We're underway. Lane 2, Tweed. Lane 3, Brisbane River Dragons. Lane 4, Dragon Masters. And 5, Power Blades. They look very long way off there, those boats, and here they go. There's Brisbane River Dragons in lane 3.
Tweed Dragons, Tweed Water Dragons in lane 3, Brisbane River Dragons, lane 4, Dragon Masters, and lane 5, Power Blades. So just the 4 crews in this grand final of the Senior Seas. That's our 60 plus paddlers, the opens, small boats, so 10s in the other language that we talk here in dragon boating. So we'll look towards the centre lanes, being the fastest qualifiers here for this grand final, and already it's the Brisbane River Dragons in lane 3 that have set up an early lead from Dragon Masters in 4 on their outside, Power Blades out in 5, probably holding down third, and then back to Tweed in lane 2. So they're past the halfway mark now in this 500 metre grand final, championship final for 2016, and it's Brisbane River Dragons who are doing it nicely out in front. They've increased their rhythm just slightly, but enough to maintain that lead, and this looks as though there's been a bit of trouble there. Dragon Masters have pulled up, so obviously there's been a problem there, and that means that Power Blades have now gone into second position, and Tweed back in third. So a mishap there for the Dragon Masters, and we're not sure what happened. We'll come back to that. We'll leave that to the officials, but it is Brisbane River Dragons well out in front here, and they're going to take out this championship final in the Senior C Open small boat, and doing it nicely, coming down to the line. It is Brisbane River Dragons in 3 will take out this grand final. Now second is going to be 6 was lane 1, Central Coast Sea Dragons in 227.
They look very long way off there, those boats, and here they go. There's Brisbane River Dragons.
For Dragon Masters, they've had something happen there, but they've recovered now, and they're going to finish off this race. Well done to them. Dragon Masters coming down in lane 4.
Okay, congratulations to Brisbane River Dragons for the Senior C Open Small Boat Grand Prix, Grand Final. Pardon? Okay. So Dragon Masters just about to cross the finish line in a moment, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more grand finals to come, and then we're into the 2,000 metres. So
they're past the halfway mark now in this 500 metre grand final, championship final for 2016, and it's Brisbane River Dragons who are doing it nicely out in front. They've increased their rhythm just slightly, but enough to maintain that lead, and this looks as though there's been a bit of trouble there. Dragon Masters have pulled up, so obviously there's been a problem there, and that means that Power Blades have now gone into second position, and Tweed back in third. So a mishap there for the Dragon Masters, and we're not sure what happened. We'll come back to that. We'll leave that to the officials, but it is Brisbane River Dragons well out in front here, and they're going to take out this championship final in the Senior C Open Small Boat, and doing it nicely, coming down to the line. It is Brisbane River Dragons in 3 will take out this grand final. Now second is going to be Lane 5, and that'll be the Power Blades, the local crew here, and they'll cross in second place, and third is going to be Lane 2, and that will be Tweed. And unfortunately for Dragon Masters, they've had something happen there, but they've recovered now, and they're going to finish off this race. Well done to them. Dragon Masters coming down in lane 4.
Okay, congratulations to Brisbane River Dragons for the Senior C Open Small Boat Grand Prix, Grand Final. Pardon? Okay. So Dragon Masters just about to cross the finish line in a moment, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more grand finals to come, and then we're into the 2,000 metres. So for those who are coming home from work maybe early, or just switch your iPhones on, then still quite a few grand finals to look forward to. We've got the Senior B Women's coming up in a moment, Small Boat, Senior B Women's Standard Boat, Senior B Open Small Boat, Senior A Women's Small Boat, Senior A Women's Standard Boat, Senior A Open Small Boat, and Senior A Open Standard Boat. So they're all grand finals, 7 in total. That will bring us to the end of play for 500 metre racing, but we've still got 2,000 metres to come. Here's the results from that last and Events South Australia, helping to support this event as the principal sponsor. We much appreciate this. We've been able to bring Dragons Down Under here to Adelaide with 3 major championships, this Australian one that's going on now with 3 more days to go after today, and then Asian Dragon Boat Championships, the Nationals, on after this one. Wonderful dragon boat racing of the highest order, and here are Dragon Flyers on the GoPro boat. Let's see if they can make this the winning GoPro boat and cross the line first. See the drummers having to hold on there to the back of the seat, because once this start happens, the boat lunges forward, and if you're not holding that seat, you're going to fly forward into the first row of the paddlers, and you definitely don't want to be doing that when they're trying to get up to speed. Fly forward into the first row of the paddlers, and you definitely don't want to be doing that when they're trying to get up to speed. So certain muscles, you must be developing certain muscles in your arms there to hold on to that. Each helm is going to have a different way of calling the race. They have different usually the first 3 to 5 strokes of a start are pretty strong, powerful strokes. Maybe not a full-blown stroke, but definitely a lot of power into it to get the boat just moving. And as the boat starts to pick up speed, you'll go into a longer stroke, and the helm will call for a reach. And probably by about 20 strokes into the race, you've got that boat up to as fast as it's ever going to go. So the main challenge then for each boat member is to keep the boat going at that maximum speed all the way down the course. And the boat that can do that most effectively is going to be the boat that wins, because inevitably during a race you're going to have different lulls take place. You know, you could be a third into the race, and the crew members are going to, sometimes in their brain, sometimes in their minds, they're going to, yes, please, I'd like some chocolate. Yes, oh yes, I'd love some chocolate. Thank you. The chocolate lady is here. She's the most popular lady now. She can be part of our team now if she brings that box of chocolates to us. But no, when you're going down the race,
Well, whilst we're waiting for the start of the next final, we've got race 123.
I don't know what the hold-up is here, but because they all look ready.
It was Burley first, 2 minutes 36.65. Second, Brisbane River Dragons, 2 minutes 39.05. Third, Manly.
But it is a grand final, so you want to get this right. So lane 1, Nowra Dragons, lane 2, Tweed, lane 3, Sada, lane 4, Adelaide Sea Dragon. It makes you feel good, it snaps you out of that negative thinking process and gets the boat back to where you should be. Lane 5, Dragon Flyers, and lane 6, Flaming Dragons. There's a glitch. You want everybody on the conveyor belt pushing the boat through the water with the same amount of power on the blade. So I think they're going to start soon. I hope they're going to start soon, Rick.
Yes, I've just been watching on the screen there. I'm not quite sure now. They were all at the pontoon. They all moved out. Now they're going to be starting to paddle backwards to get back onto the arms of the pontoon. So they must be having a bit of trouble with the wind.
There's our GoPro there. That's at least it gives the GoPro a good workout.
Yes, indeed. I was just trying to place where he's actually paddling at the present time.
Yeah.
Oh, is he on? He's on station up there, is he?
He's in station. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is Dragon Flyers.
Well, you can see the problem that they're having trying to get lined up.
And of course, the helm on the back, the sweep on the back, is holding a metal post attached to the podium to stop the boat drifting. But equally, it's twisting in the water, so they're having to draw on both sides at the moment.
Rich, if you look right up, excuse me to interrupt you see there's one that's side on to the pontoon.
So we're looking at lane 4 there, which is Adelaide Sea Dragons, and they're probably at 45 degrees to where they should be. So this race isn't going to start anytime soon. We'll have a very, very quick ad while we wait for this, so we'll be right back. And I get a chance to eat my chocolate frogs. Keep with this.
All right, we have a start in the grand final of the Senior B Women's Small Boats. And in lane 1, Nowra Water Dragons, lane 2, Tweed, lane 3, Sada, Adelaide Sea Dragons in 4, Dragon Flyers in 5, and Flaming Dragons in lane 6. So everybody well away from the start at this point of time. You can hear the drums across the water, so the drummers are doing their job. And all teams now coming down. Now there's a couple that's maybe fallen off the pace, which is very early to call that, but we'll just have a look at the potential leaders. And I've got a feeling that it is in lane 4. The Adelaide Sea Dragons might be doing the right thing by being out in front, so far as they're concerned, of course. So the Adelaide Sea Dragons might have let out. Sada in lane 3, also with them. Tweed in lane 2. So really this is a little bit of across the course, maybe right across the course in lane 6. The Flaming Dragons have fallen off, as have the Dragon Flyers in 5. But in lane 4, the Adelaide Sea Dragons look as though they're doing a very good job of it. So Adelaide Sea Dragons have thrown down the challenge. Now they're into about the 200 metres to go mark. So Adelaide Sea Dragons leading the way from Sada on the inside in lane 3, and then go over to lane 5. Perhaps they've picked up a little bit. Maybe they've paddled themselves into third position. But with about 100 metres to go, Adelaide Sea Dragons in lane 4, they look as though they've got this sewn up. So they're going down to the post. Very difficult to see anybody that's going to pick them up in the last 80 metres. Adelaide Sea Dragons go. Now it's interest in the second place. And Sada look as though they're going to pick that up. They're paddling strongly, putting in a challenge, but not enough distance or time to do it. So it's Adelaide Sea Dragons first. Sada will go in second, and as I speak, that's the way they're going to go across. It's going to be very interesting to see who's third, and I think that will go. Oh, it's either going to be the Dragonflyers over in 5 as third, or Tweed. So one or other of those. And now looking to see who may have got 5th. I would take to be the Narrow Water Dragons, and the Flaming Dragons over in lane 6, bringing up 6th position. So the big interest in this is going to be between who took out the 3rd minor place, Tweed or the Dragon Flyers. But it would appear certain the Adelaide Sea Dragons are the winner.
And here we go with those results. So the Adelaide Sea Dragons took that with a time of 2:31.2. Sada got the second spot, 2:33.7, and Tweed did indeed get it in 2:36.0 in lane 2 for third place. Dragonflyers 4th position, 2:36.3. In 5th position, Narrow Dragons, 2:38.2, and Flaming Dragons in 6th position, 2:40.2.